Hello, and welcome to my show, Searching for Integrity. My name really is John Smith, and I'm searching for people with integrity. Why? Because our country suffers from IDD, Integrity Deficit Disorder. Today we have as our guest Damon Modrise Grayson. Did I get that middle name right?
Madris.
Okay, Modrise, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Um, and we're going to start right here, and we're going to let you go. I'll have some questions for you just to kick it off. Now that I've got you, and you're still in California, I
Yes.
don't know where is Compton.
It's close to Los Angeles. It's in Los Angeles County,
Okay, that's enough. I got a
near
friend that lives.
LAX.
Okay, all right. Um, and there's been a lot of weather there, I think.
Weather?
It, they call them the something in the clouds and in the sky, and they're bringing something
Oh,
coming
you
from.
talking about chemtrails?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I see them almost every day. I went out yesterday and took a walk, and I didn't see any, and I was just thankful for not seeing any for that day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
it's a lot.
I walk as well
Yeah,
every day.
I do
Something
too.
for my.
That's good.
Let's let's see. Now I want to view for me for my pumpter DMG. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes,
Okay. And July 9, 1969.
correct.
2 months before that, I was getting off a plane coming home from Nam.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my father fought in
Did he? Good.
yeah.
She's still living?
No, he's not.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay. It was my biological father. I only met him once.
I see.
I met him when I was 29 years old. He had went to war and he wasn't able to come back to California. It's a long story, but that's what happened.
Interesting. Well, those things, predicaments, turn up to
Hmm.
be something that you don't like, but you have to wear it.
Right.
Uh, One of the things here I was looking at too, the introduction on the RTIR for your book.
IT. What is that called? What is it called?
It's the initials RTIR.
Okay. I T.
That's the newsletter. RTIR.
Oh, okay. Okay, got
Yeah,
you.
that's the newsletter. And that's where I find people like you. But I don't
Okay.
do everybody. I could tell you that.
No, well, I appreciate you choosing me.
Well, I wanted to ask you some questions about it and some of the items that people, if people just said, "Well, that's just the way it is," or "That's going to happen no matter what," and you've fought that and come out the other way,
Correct.
especially with your three sons.
Hmm.
Um, I had I had twins,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
and they turned out to be okay too. Uh,
Sounds
I
good.
was I was a drill sergeant in the Army after I got back from Nam,
Okay.
so I'm still playing. They're 53 years old. I'm still playing.
It's my age.
Yeah,
I think we're always going to be parents, always, no matter how old we get or how old they get. We're going to always be parents.
yeah, that's a good thing to go by. It's the thing that they get. The part about you've got hands on single dad of three sons, overcoming, growing up on the main streets. Um, it's almost like somewhere along the way, somebody said, "Well, this is the way," and it's not that way. You've turned it around for yourself and your
Yeah.
family and your boys. Um, Here's another one that got me, when I was in Nam, I was in aviation, Army
Okay.
aviation,
Hmm.
and in that we had what we call hooches. They're not tents; they're beyond tents, and for how we keep and sleep. And
Okay.
next door, which holds 4 beds, uh, were two of them, 2 units that they play all the music for me, the soul music, and and I was the only guy in there. I was the only white guy,
Okay.
and and they got in the beginning they didn't know what to do with me, but I hung around so much that they let me stay, and
Okay.
yeah, and I had a great time. I feel like I was a, a cultural graduate, from the lessons I got.
Okay.
I
I'm sure you learned a lot.
Well, I even know who Joe Tex is.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Tell me now, what are you going to do with the book? Any
What am I
more
going to do with the book?
ideas with the book? Yeah.
Any more ideas?
Uh huh.
I have more ideas for another book, but this one is already complete and finished.
Yes.
It's yeah, it's already out, and I have good ratings on Amazon right now, and a few people that I know personally has read it, has given me nothing but positive feedback, and a few of them said it's helping in their relationships.
That's
So
good.
it's doing good. Yeah, it's a good book. It even helps me every once in a while when I read it. It
Hmm.
reminds me of what I already know, but some may have forgotten a little bit.
Hmm.
And when I read it, it motivates me and inspires me to do better and do great and get back in line into alignment.
Well, obviously you've done that, and then you become cognizant about whether it's a good right or wrong. You obviously going to take the right way.
Hmm. I try to take the right way all the time. I try to, at least I attempt to. I'm not perfect, so I'll make mistakes here and there. But when I find out that I made a mistake, I try to correct it. And most of the time, it's with myself.
Of
So, I
course.
mean, life is a journey.
Yes.
So we learn as we go. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. That's how mine turned out as well. Um,
Hmm.
the best story never told. Is that a heading at the top?
Yes. Yes.
Why'd you choose those words? Those words.
My oldest son actually chose those words.
Ah.
Um, and I've been told or asked, or people have mentioned to me several. I mean, somebody just said it the other day that I should write a book about my life. Um, but I chose to write this one first. Whatever
Hmm.
comes to me, that's what I do.
Right.
I didn't want it to be a psychological thing to do. I did it from inside. I was inspired to write this, so I go deep inside. I don't look at the top layer. I go deep inside, and it was easier. It was easy for me to write this, and it came natural to me because it was already inside. I was in alignment. Every time I stopped to write it, I had to be in alignment. If I wasn't in alignment, I didn't force anything. So my son actually wrote that, and I guess like him and a lot of other people, they want my story to be told. It just so happened that I came out with this book first.
Are
So
you happy with your publishers?
I am my publisher.
Oh,
This is a
okay.
self-published book. Yeah.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't as hard as people think. You just have to do a lot of research, take your time, and be led. And even if you run into, I won't even say a brick wall, if you run into uh, any problems or anything, you just work around it
mhm,
or bulldoze through. But I
mhm.
try to work around it and jump over it sometimes. I try not to bulldoze through anything anymore. You know, it's, I would rather manifest things into me forcing things to happen.
Right. They take all
Yeah.
the hurdles off the track,
Correct. Yes.
and that way you won't be jumping in anybody's chest.
Right. I actually ran hurdles in high school.
Did you now?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I looked here. that a number of things you'll claim: father we know, mentor, life coach, entrepreneur, author, philanthropic, motivational speaker. How
Yes,
often do
sir.
you get to speak? How often do you get to speaker?
I'm speaking now.
No, to an audience. Yeah,
um,
you're right. There's thousands are listening to this, but
right. So, I mean, every once in a while I do. I fell off for a while. But I've talked to schools, a lot of schools, whether they were here in Compton or Japan, different schools, different. Well, put it this way: I'm always talking. People call me with problems all the time. I got a phone call night before last, and someone said I'm not okay. So I talked to them that night, and I called the next morning to make sure they were okay. They still wasn't okay. But at this point in my life, I know that I don't have all the answers, but I can be very supportive and just give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in my personal experiences on how I dealt with certain things. So whether it's in a classroom or in the audience or someone talking, face to face like this, I'm always talking and discussing things with people and helping people out and trying to inspire them.
well, that's not an easy thing to do. Basically, you've turned into a chaplain that people give you questions and help.
Yeah. I've been called a pastor before.
Yeah.
People have told me I sound like a preacher. I just do me.
Right.
And if that's some person's take on it, hey, that's the way they receive it. I receive it that way too. So I just do me. That's it.
Well, you certainly have a knack for helping somebody when they
It's
call you.
embedded in me. It's in my DNA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's natural.
Certainly has. Have you had any book signings?
Yes, I have. I had one in Los Angeles right before I left. And it went very well. It went very well. I sold a ton of books. And just the whole experience was great. I had a couple of them, but that one in Los Angeles is the one I remember the most.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I actually moved a year or so ago. I moved to Florida and I was there for 5 months. And then I moved to Puerto Rico and I was there for 6 months. I've been back for a couple of more months. So now I'm back getting in the swing of things. So, yeah.
I saw that bit on one of your videos, and you appeared to have water behind you, and you were talking about Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I was there for 6 months.
Yeah. Why did you? What?
It was for like basically spiritual cleansing. I had to go find myself.
Right.
Because of the things that you read in my bio. I wasn't completely over some of those things.
Right.
So I had anxiety. I had PTSD. I had a lot of things that was wrong with me, but nobody knew because I kept everything inside. But at the end of the day, after I get off the phone from helping somebody and inspiring somebody, I still have to deal with my issues and problems. So
Right.
by me going to Puerto Rico for 6 months, it really helped me out spiritually. So that's why I'm getting back into things, supporting promoting the book, and I'm starting to write another book as well. But Puerto Rico helped me out a whole lot.
Right. Well, I should tell you, welcome to the club. They diagnosed me for PTSD.
Yeah, I believe it. And I had a conversation with my son yesterday about ADHD. When I was raising him, he was the oldest. He was the first one. We had a lot of issues with that. And back then, I remember teachers and principals telling me that it was my fault because I wouldn't put him on Ritalin.
Right.
And eventually I wore down and said, okay, I'll give him medication. But I forgot the drug that it was, but it wasn't Ritalin. I felt that I didn't want to put him on medication, period.
Right.
But I
Right.
felt if he had a lower dosage of something, that'll be better. And so we tried it out. We tried it out for a week, and he didn't like it, so we got off of it. But we just had a conversation just yesterday about it. He still has it. He's 30. He'll be 31 next month. And realistically, I have it too. I just try to. I learned how to meditate. I meditate now. That helps me out. So when I'm getting hyped up and amped up and unfocused, I take a deep breath, and that's why I take walks every day.
Mm-hmm.
That all helps too. And now that I'm older and more open-minded, he said I forgot the drug that he said he's taking, but it's only 5 milligrams. It's a very low dosage, but he said it helps him. And I don't know if he was afraid to tell me, because he said it's been a couple of weeks and we talk often. So he said it's working for him, and I'm going to look into it too. I have to, open my mind and not be so stubborn. And if I have to take medication to help me out, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
I'll write better. I'll be a better man, better father, better friend. I'll be a better person, period. So I'm going to do it.
That's a good way to go. And
Mm-hmm.
you've got you're given the ball and you carry it. And I've got an Emmett Smith football in my trophy club back here.
Okay, that'll work.
It does. It does. And the VA people give me the medication
for
and,
the PTSD or okay,
PTSD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the PTSD I kind of worked on myself. I don't think I have it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That PTSD, I mean, me being raised in Compton, I think 95% of us, especially men, have PTSD.
Sure, I can
mean,
see
if
that.
you hear gunshots all the time, or you get jumped by a gang, or go through police abuse a few times and get put in jail, get your car towed away for no reason, get hit. It all plays a part. So I changed my mentality. I changed the way that I think. I changed the way that I feel about police officers and the way I look at police officers. And it's changed my way. So I'm not like, I used to hear loud noise and I instantly, I would jump. I don't do that anymore. I barely do it, put it that way. I was walking down the street the other day and a dog came out of nowhere, so I kind of got startled. But other than that, just loud noises and stuff, I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think it's over with.
Well, that's good. And if it's not, you know how to handle it. So
yeah.
Did you look for much from the medical community?
No. No, not at all. I don't like to go to doctors. I don't like to go to the dentist. That's just me. But I'm, like I said, I'm getting older now, and I have to change the way that I think. That doesn't work for me. So I'm going to start paying attention to my body more, to my mind more, and start going and get checked out and stuff. But the PTSD, I was able to take care of that myself.
Right.
The ADHD, taking deep breaths, meditating, and taking walks, it helps, but it's not healed,
Right.
So my son said the medication helps him. It lasts about 5 or 6 hours, and he's able to do things at work. His wife is a whole lot better now. Well, she notices when he's taking the medication and when he doesn't. So he said, I mean, the medication is helping their whole household with them two together. So, yeah.
Well, it's good they're helping each other.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. She's very supportive of him. They need each other.
Yeah.
They're good for each other.
Right. I didn't have much prescriptions for the PTSD, and I took it, and I didn't like it.
No. What were the side effects?
Feeling like you're a zombie.
Yeah. The dosage was too high. That's what my son told me that, and a few other kids that was on Prozac back then said the same thing. And that's something that I didn't want for myself or for my son. But like I said, my son said he only has, it's 5 milligrams. It's very low. So that helps him.
It does, and it will, and he'll stick
Hmm.
with it. And his wife will probably be the one to see to that.
Oh, she will.
Put the rolling pin back in the drawer.
Okay.
Um, let's see here. About a year after this particular tour, a terrible divorce where lost everything he owned. That must have
Yeah.
been
writing what? I said a book. He said about what? And I was kind of embarrassed to tell him what it was about because I had been through two other marriages and divorced. And
right.
now I'm in this bad relationship and I'm writing a relationship book for women while I'm in a bad relationship. So when I finally told him what it was about, he said, "You're the perfect person to write the book. You have the experience. You know what you're talking about." And those words are the reason that I finished the book because it actually took me about 10 years to finish the book because life from childhood was gone. Pictures, my photo albums, all my kids' stuff. She tore up that stuff, broke all my kids' trophies. She took my $60,000 recording studio, over $1 million worth of records. I mean, I lost everything. We had to start over. We ended up being homeless and everything. But I got through it. I got through it, and so did they. They're doing well now. I have two. I actually have more children, but the ones that we're talking about, two live in Houston, Texas, and my oldest is in New York, near
Mm-hmm.
Manhattan. But you're gonna
Well, I
always
guess.
have obstacles.
Oh yeah,
The
for
thing is
sure.
to keep going. Yeah, it's life is a journey, so you just keep going. You can't quit.
Two sons in Houston,
Yeah,
and that's a lot of humidity.
yeah. I lived
Uh,
there for 2.5 years.
oh,
That was one thing I
yeah,
didn't like about
that's
Texas was
right.
the weather. Yeah, I didn't
That's
like the
right.
weather.
I lived in Texas, in the Dallas area, in the New
Okay,
Braunfels area where Austin is,
okay.
and then last year we hooked it up, my wife and I, and came out here with my daughter and three kids, and so now I'm in Tucson, Arizona.
It's
And
hot there.
I know it is, uh, but it's dry. You know, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah,
So that takes it care of the
yeah.
heat.
That's the difference.
Yeah. Um, now, are you running your own online marketing company?
Yes. Well, I have mywordsofwisdom.com. That's where I sell canvases with my words of wisdom. My son did he did all the artwork for it. I give him an idea. He comes with the artwork and it's perfect. And I sell my book on that site as well, mywordsofwisdom.com.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing now.
Well, good. Um, I had a little trouble allowing me to see the website. There's something
Okay.
stuff that I don't know about, I guess.
Oh, I have to check it out then. I don't know. I have to check it out.
Um, let's see here.
Okay.
Do are your sons happy? Are they married?
My oldest is married. He's, like I said, he'll be 31. He got married 3 years ago. I think last month would be 3 years, and he'll be 31 next month. And I have a 21-year-old and a 23-year-old. They're not married, not yet. They're still young. I actually got married when I was 25, which was kind of young, but hey, when I growing up in Compton, if you reach it to 25 years old as a black man,
Yeah,
it's like you hit the lottery.
right.
So I was still alive at 25. I beat the odds. So I got married the following year. No, was I 25? I was 25 or 26, but when I turned 25, I felt like I hit the lottery. So I ended up getting married and I bought my first house right after I turned 25, within a year or so.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so
Outstanding. To be able to do that like you've done, and you're going to make that is probably with a lot of that in your up and coming book whenever you get to it.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. What a motivational speaker. Do you find on with people talking to, or are they always virtual on their speaking?
Well, now it's been virtual. Ever since
COVID.
Yeah, ever since COVID, everything's been virtual now. I mean, but eventually I would love to get back in front of people.
Sure.
After a couple of years that went by through the divorces, honestly, I kind of lost some of my self-esteem. So I slowed down a lot. But now, since I've been back from Puerto Rico, I'm alive again. So I would love to get back in front of people again and talk, and just because I love to inspire people. I love to help people. I love to see people grow and prosper. It's in my fiber.
Yes.
Whether it's one person or 1,000 people, 10,000 people, I just like to help people. And I have so much into me to give. If I don't give, it kind of like it gets bottled up, and I just, I have to get out and do something. So I'd rather be doing things like this and spreading love around the globe.
Well, you're far and few in doing what you do, and you've got the ability to do it. And this book we're talking about is going to be part of that as well. And let's talk about where you can buy your books.
Okay, like I said, mywordsofwisdom.com. But if not, you can go on Amazon and just look up When His Ways Meet Yours, or you can look up my name, Damon Grayson, or Damon Madrice Grayson, on Amazon right now. Like I said, the book is good. It's for women, but it's men friendly. Like I said, when I read it, it helps me. So if it helps me and I wrote it, I know it can help the world, whether it's male or female.
Right. Well,
Matter of fact, this is it here.
Okay.
You can see it.
Yeah. I can see
actually,
that.
This is my daughter, and that's her husband. This is my son, and that's his wife. I don't know who these people are, but this is the cover of the book. When His Ways Meet Yours. When you love you, he will follow suit.
Can't get any
better. You can find it on Amazon. On Amazon.
Yes. Very good.
Damon Grayson.
They're going to say a lot about it. Learning what they learned today, and I bet they'll go off and get themselves a book.
I hope so. It'll help them out. It'll help them out a whole lot. Yeah. And I don't say it because I wrote it, but it's a great book to have for anybody, especially like newlyweds or young women, or even men who want to save their relationship or want to be a better man in the relationship that they're in or they're going to get. It's a great book.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Well, let me thank you for stopping by. And like it's a long drive to Compton, not where I am. That's all right. And I want to thank you for turning up, doing the information, spreading information.
Thank you.
It's a lot of it, and you're good at it.
Thank you.
And then let's see, you're in California. You might even be away of my adios. It's the end of my listeners for me too. They were tuning out and searching for integrity.
I love that title, by the way. I love it. I love that title.
Searching for integrity.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't have integrity today.
Well, the problem is that a lot of them think they do.
You can tell. You can tell if they don't.
You're right. You're right. So here we go. So long and happy trails to all.
Okay. All right. Adios. And thank you for having me, John.
My pleasure. Glad it did.